Hey, welcome back to Structure Fishing. I'm Jim Shell. I'm going to have a fishing report for you now on my trip to Green Bay. Uh, and Casey and I fished Green Bay on our way back from Red Lake. We spent 8 days fishing in Red Lake, and the weekend we came back. We left Red Lake Friday evening, and we got to Green Bay. We launched out of Ocanto. We got there about 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon. And as I reported in my Red Lake video, we did really good with the walleyes. It was a very slow speed that the walleyes wanted most of the week, and it's the first time that we used bottom bouncers with night crawler harnesses, and it's a great form of depth and speed control when they want a slower speed. And we had so much success in Red Lake, and it's just because the walleyes were wanted it slow, as I reported on that video, when they got active and they moved, they wanted a much faster speed, a lot more aggressive. But Casey and I decided to fish Green Bay out of Ocanto, and this is a place that we fished several years ago. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read a report. We fished this reef called Young's Reef. It's about 6 miles straight east of Ocanto. Uh, and if you go on the internet and Google Young's Reef, Green Bay, I thought this was pretty funny. I Googled it just to see what information I could find, and sure enough, I find my report back that I posted on spoonplug.net back in August 12th, 2013. It's 5 years ago. And click on that report. And I'm not going to read the whole report here, but I was there it is 5 years ago. We had some nice walleyes here. But in the report, I said how frustrating it was. Casey and I were trolling crankbaits, and we were, working the bottom. And I was on my report that I wrote over here. I was saying how frustrated I was that we were seeing a lot of these big walleye boats. And I said in the report here that I believe that they're trolling night crawler harnesses. And when we weren't catching anything, about every 10, 15 minutes, we noticed these boats catching walleyes, and it was quite frustrating for us. We went back. Now that we've got this new arsenal of depth and speed control with these crawler harnesses, we launched 1 o'clock out of Ocanto here. That's Saturday, and luckily the winds weren't that bad, and we went 6 miles out to this reef out here. And really quick, all the past times I fished this reef, you would think that you would troll especially if the fish weren't that active, that you would find more fish closer to the break line as it breaks into deep water. And this is a pretty big reef. This reef is about 2 miles long, north-south direction, and about 3/4 of a mile wide in west-east direction. And for the most part, the top of the reef is on average 25 feet, and it breaks down either 40 to 60 feet, depending where you're at. But you would think that you would find more walleyes on the edge break line, but that's not the case. Um, the fish, when they're caught, they're pretty much on the center of the reef. Actually, I found to be the best spots to be the crown, the shallowest parts of the reef. Most of the top of the reef here is about 25, 26 feet, but there's this one particular section that gets as shallow as 22 feet. Most of it's 23 feet. And the fish, when they become active, they're found at those high spots over there. So when we went out there that Saturday, about 1 o'clock, maybe it was about 1:32 p.m. that we actually started fishing. We started naturally trolling crankbaits, checking a faster speed. We spent maybe 20 minutes doing that. Didn't catch anything. And then we switched to our bottom bouncers and night crawler harnesses. And now when we're trolling crankbaits, we're probably going right around 2, 2 and a quarter, depending if you're trolling into the wind or with the wind. Trolling with the wind, you're going to be trolling at a faster speed, around maybe 2 and a quarter, maybe even 2.5. Trolling against the wind, it's going to slow the boat down a little bit, and you can get it as slow as, maybe 1.75 miles an hour. But we spent about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes trolling the crankbaits, nothing. And then we put on the crawler harnesses, and all that did was get us a slower speed control. like Buck says over again, all fishing success and failures, it can be answered in terms of depth and speed control. If you're not catching fish, you don't have the right depth and speed control. So when we switched to these crawler harnesses, literally we only had one rod. My rod's out, and then Casey didn't even have his rod out. He was just getting his rod set up and out, and I had my line in the water not even a couple of minutes, probably 1 minute, and I got the first fish right away. Make the story short, we ended up getting around 6 or 7 fish in about 2.5, 3 hours. And these are all nice fish, as you'll see in the video that follows after this. So it was, once again, it was a great lesson in terms of teaching us about depth and speed control. And when if these fish did get really active, you go back to the crankbaits. I honestly think that when they do move, I mean, the biggest fish always seem to be caught when you're trolling a big crankbait. And in the case of walleyes here, it seems like you're better off trolling a long, narrow, like the real long minnow type crankbait. And like I say, I fished this reef quite a bit. My first time out here was in 2012. I probably fished it 2 or 3 times. And also in 2013, we fished it a few times. And I think we went back in 2014 for half a day, didn't get anything, and we left. And I don't think I've been back until this year. But walleyes, as we know, are migratory fish. And this reef being pretty much out, pretty far out from shore. What I'm told from what research I've found and what I've heard from other people is it appears that fish migrate from the southern Green Bay up to this reef, and it's pretty much middle of summer, which would be probably late July, early August, is when you usually find walleyes on this reef. And who knows how long they stay? It probably depends on the weather and water conditions. It could be 1 or 2 weeks, or it could be 4 or 5 weeks. But we happened to be there when there was a big school of fish working that reef, and we had a great time. Then we came back and we fished it Sunday, and as soon as we got out in the water, we were catching fish immediately. I think by about 9 o'clock in the morning, we had 8 fish in the live well, and we missed 2 or 3 at the boat. And then I had some electrical problems. I don't want to get into that, but I couldn't get the engine started, and being 6.5 miles offshore, I was getting a little worried about it. But after about a half hour, I finally got the engine running, and it was around maybe 10:30, something like that, and decided just to call it a day and head in. But it was a fun trip, and it was another reminder about depth and speed control. It's that bottom bouncers this year have really caught me a lot of walleyes on that trip up at Red Lake and here. But you can't be narrow-minded and all I'm using is bottom bouncers because I caught fish on them. You constantly have to be checking your speed control. Like I say, we started trolling cranks, then slow it down to the crawler harnesser for that slower speed. But by no means am I hung up on just using crawler harnesses now. It's just a form of speed control, depth and speed control. So here's some of the fish we caught. We had a great time. It was a great way to end a 10-day fishing trip, and can't wait to get back out there again. Thanks for watching.
All right, guys, we got a fish on. We've literally been bottom bouncing for 10 seconds, and it's a walleye. It's a walleye. All right, we've literally been doing this for 10 seconds.
I just let it out, literally 10 seconds. The first line I let out.
All right. Awesome.
Fish crab.
Let's go. Crawler harnesses. Slow speed control maybe today. Just went over a school of
points,
them.
man. Also weight points.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a good day out here.
Woohoo. All right, that's a smaller one, but put him in the live well, man. Let's go. Got a fish on here.
All right, this is just a couple minutes later.
See what it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a nice eye. It's a nicer one.
Yes.
Yeah, way to go,
Awesome.
Fishcraft.
Awesome. That guy's fat.
Yeah, it's a nicer one. That's a good one. All right, high five, man.
Yeah. Crawler harness, man. Slow speed
Sweet.
Awesome. He got the top hook. Or no, I don't know. But,
All right, that's walleye number 2 in the box, and we missed one.
yeah, that was probably the walleye.
All right.
All right.
Green Bay.
Woo! All right, get the pliers.
All right. All right. Let's show everybody.
Look how healthy this fish is.
Well, what's the key to catching these fish today?
Slow speed control, depth and speed control.
You got it.
We tried planer boards, it's just too windy, so we just held 2 rods.
We're just fishing single rods out here.
Yeah.
Because of the wind conditions.
But yeah, we're gonna put them in the box. We got 2 fish now.
All right.
Awesome, man. Let's get some more. All right, guys, just got another keeper walleye. There's people around us, so we're gonna keep it a little low key.
Hey, that's a good eater, man. It's
Yeah.
17, 18.
All right, let's get some more.
Fish craft, that's good. If it's a walleye.
All right, my dad's got here. Here's the net.
All right, just lay it down. Just lay it down right there. I'll grab it.
Dad's got a nice fish on.
Whoa.
He thinks it's a walleye.
Whoa. I hope it's not a sheephead.
Oh yeah, it's a walleye. It's a walleye. Here, I got you. Oh, it's a tank. It's a tank. Here, get the camera.
Yeah.
This thing is so fat.
This is a fat one,
This
man.
thing is so fat. Look at him.
We got a waypoint. We know where these fish are coming from. Oh man. These Green Bay walleyes are so healthy and fat. What do you think he is? 23? Okay, it's number 4 in the box now. And we lost one at the boat.
Look how fat that thing is. Awesome. Awesome, man.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Fist bump.
All right.
All right.
Let's get some more.
Depth and speed control, just like you said earlier.
Yep. Oh my gosh, guys.
Look what we just got casting, boys.
My dad just got an awesome fish. This is a nice.
We're using like a jigging wrap, and it just came out of his mouth. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous fish.
Yes.
Casting. There's a kind. We've been catching most of them using the bottom bumpers in this area here. So we spot locked. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful, man. What do you think that is? 26?
Yeah, 26. What a healthy fish.
All right, man.
Yes. Let's get
see.
some more.
You're fishing structure. We're fishing structure, and we're controlling our depth and speed, and we got the results to show it.
Awesome.
All right.
Let's get some more. Awesome.
That's number 6 in the box.
Yep.
Oh yeah. He hit light. I thought it was a small fish, and then he started fighting the closer he got to the boat. Man, we're getting great depth and speed control with these worm harnesses. It's something that I haven't done until this season, and catching a lot more walleyes.
Just imagine if we found about this years ago.
Sweet, he's about a 16 and a half, I'd say, if I had an eyeball him, maybe
actually
17.
17. Yeah.
All right, let's get him in the box and get out there, man.
Yep.
They're moving. Let's go.
All right, guys, my dad's got a fish on. Says it's a nice one. Oh yeah. All right.
Number 7 in the box.
Number 7 in the box.
Oh, just came out.
Hook just came out.
I just spotlighted.
Sorry for the rough filming. We've got people around us. Next week is actually the big walleye tournament. So
Probably 17, I'm guessing. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get him in the box, man.
Yep.
Number 7, Green Bay.
all right.
Depth and speed. We say it over and over again, but that's what's catching these fish.
Yep.
Structure. Right.
We just got back out on the water. My dad forgot the camera.
Forgot our main camera. This is the GoPro we're using. But we got out here at 4. We launched the boat at 10 to 4, I think. And we were out here at this reef 6.5 miles out at 4:15.
Yeah. So we've been fishing for an hour, and we just got one walleye, and it was really cool because the walleyes we were getting yesterday were light color, and that one was golden. I don't really know why. Maybe it's because I guess they're supposed to go from, what was it, Saginaw Bay and meet up.
No, Little Bay, Big Bay to Neck. They move south.
Yeah.
And the ones from Green Bay moved north. They sort of meet in the middle there.
Yeah, so I don't know, but that one was more golden. That was pretty cool. But it was a pretty nice fish. Probably a 22 if I was guessing. But all right, we'll get you back on an update in a while. All right, guys, we just got another keeper. Pretty new to this, so we got only 2 planer boards out. So we've never done this before with planer boards, but we got another keeper out. So, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You guys just got another keeper. It's really hard to record. I'll show you the live well. But yeah, we got 3 keepers now. It's really hard to record because we're so excited to get a fish on. But yeah, the bite's definitely on here. So I'm using the GoPro, so I don't know how it looks, but gotta wipe off the lens. But yeah. Alright guys, we'll get back to you with another update.
Fortunately, I left the video camera in the van today. We launched the boat at 3:45 a.m., so forgot a couple of things. But how was the day, Casey?
It was good, man. We could have easily got our limit. There's this guy.
Go ahead.
We could have easily got our limit, but accidentally shut off the motor.
Well, it's not your fault. We had got 8 nice walleyes, as you can see here.
Yeah.
8 beauties.
And we lost a few too.
Yeah, we lost. I mean, we could have easily, like you said, we could have easily hit our limit of 10 fish, but we had an electrical battery problem. Like we couldn't get the engine started, and we were 6.5 miles out from shore. But after about 25 minutes, we got it started, so we decided just to call it a day and come in. But yesterday we got 7, today we got 8. Lost a few, but they're all really nice sized walleyes here. So
yeah, all on crawler harnesses. It's the speed control. As you can see, we don't really have a cloud in the sky, and crawler harnesses are a great depth and speed control for these walleye. And yeah, so we had 4 lines out and got all these nice walleyes, man. A bunch, all solid fat fish. So we're gonna clean these up and eat them for dinner.
all right.
All right.